You.
Our next presenter is Tom Masterson, and the title of his presentation is Explorations in Tibet and Nepal. Tom Masterson is a Canadian world-class mountaineer, ultra-marathon runner, physics professor, and dance teacher who resides in Boulder when he is not running around the world.
I'm going to talk about some of the things that I've done in Nepal and Tibet. And last time I was there was 2 years ago when I rescued a Sherpa from 28,400 feet on Everest and brought him back down safe and sound. And had to forego, of course, my own trip in order to do that. But he's safe and well with his family. So, can we go back to, there we go, thank you. This is typical, your traditional Kathmandu in Nepal. Of course, you have someone meditating. You have the sacred cow who survives on the garbage. And you have the rickshaw person who is fixing his rickshaw here to take people around town. And Kathmandu is a weird and wonderful place. One of the nice things about it is lots of traffic, but it all stops at night. It's quiet at night. There's no horns honking, nothing there. Has that been 20 seconds? It's time warped, okay. It's a oh, there we go. Okay, this is the airport in Lukla. It's one of the world's most famous airports. You come in for a controlled crash landing when you come to land, and you coast uphill at an angle of nearly 20 degrees. But don't worry about that. When you take off, it's not as much of a problem because if you don't have the airspeed when you get to the bottom, you've got 3,000 feet of space to gain it as you cruise down the bottom. This is the Tibet side here. The Chinese name for Everest is Komalangma, and this is my friend Volodya from St. Petersburg when we went in there a few years ago. Tibet is an incredibly dry place. There's just no moisture anywhere. And when occasionally a cloud does come in from Nepal, just goes over the area, the next day everything turns green just from the moisture that was in the cloud. No precipitation, just a little bit of moisture. It's also somewhat windy. This is a Chinese tent about to head to Nepal. In spite of all of the rocks that you see around the bottom, they're trying to hold it in place. I had 100+ mile-an-hour winds when climbing from the Tibetan side. This is the Nepalese side. This is Tom on rock, on ice, and this was left by the glacier, Khumbu Glacier there, and of course it was there. I had to go and climb it, and my friend Martin took a picture of that. He's also from Canada. When we came back to base camp 3 weeks later, it had melted and was gone. But it's cold there, and so you have to heat the place a little bit, and so what do? You collect yak dung. You plaster it onto the wall. Those are all fingerprints. And after 10 days, you can use the yak dung in the little wood burning and little stoves to keep yourself warm. This is a Monal Demphe, Himalayan Monal Demphe. It's a male. It is one of the most impressive birds that I've ever seen. It's about knee-high, and its colors are just absolutely astounding. And it has a huge white square on the middle of its back. This is the border with China here. Makalu is just off to the right, and the 70-degree ice wall here that has never been climbed. And these little rocks here sitting on the roof of the little hut there, they're all about 3 to 4 inches thick, and they weigh tons, and so things there are built fairly strong. This is one of the most photographed peaks in the entire of Nepal, perhaps in the world. It's called Amadablam, Mother of the Gods, and it is also somewhat challenging to get to the top of. It's only 7,000 meters high. That's what, 24,000 feet. But that he is standing there up with his toes in crampons on a 5'9" rock climb, and this is all vertical down here on this side. It's not your average tourist route. Real estate there is also a little bit at a premium. This is Camp 2, and it falls. You've got to be careful where you go when you get up in the middle of the night, because it's thousands of feet down on every side, and that's what this entire ridge is like, going up Ama Dablam. This is the top part of Ama Dablam. That's the Dablam there, the little snow ridge that you see off the top, and the climb goes up here to the top of that, skirts around this, and goes up that ridge to the top, which is just under 7,000 meters, and really, really pretty. Of course, after all of this climbing, you need a vacation, and so I went over to the fourth of the five spirit lakes. There's the third one. This is called Gokyo Lake. Picture is taken from Gokyo Mountain, Gokyo-ri. This is the town of Gokyo. It's at 5,000 meters. It is one of the more beautiful places I have ever seen in my life. This is the reflection in the water in the morning. The snow glacier icefall just totally reflected in the water. Every time I go to Nepal, I go there. It is absolutely incredibly beautiful, to me at least. So, oh yeah, I guess this comes back to Everest. Oh, this is the Khumbu Icefall. It's about 3 miles from there to there. Each block of ice is the size of a huge office building, and the Swiss in 1953 found a way through this that is still used today. And it's a little challenging in some places. They take ladders here, they put them together with a little piece of twine, and you have to go across these 300-400 foot deep crevasses, and you have to look down because you have to see where you're putting your feet on the ladder. And so it's interesting, yes. Okay, and sometimes you have to climb up at the edge of some of these crevasses, and these are 7 ladders tied together with twine to get yourself out of the edge of this crevasse. And I'll conclude here with a slide of my dad, which we'll see in a second. Oh, no, not quite. This is the south call of Mount Everest at sunset. And that's Lhotse, which I've also climbed there, 8,500 meters. And it is just very cold, but incredibly beautiful. And I love climbing there. I take treks there every couple of years also. My dad was one of the first people ever to take a B-24 Liberator bomber at the end of World War II, empty it of everything, and he flew it over the top of Mount Everest after 6 hours of trying to get it up to that elevation. And so I put his picture on the top so that he could be there and enjoy that. Thank you all so very much.